Have you ever changed almost everything in your life, your job, your city, your relationship, yet still found yourself in the same place emotionally? A familiar pattern repeats, different surroundings, different people, different circumstances, but the same inner struggles, the same invisible ceiling, the same feeling of being stuck. Today we explore one of the deepest ideas in Neville Goddard's philosophy of assumption. Nothing in your outer world can truly change until something in your inner world changes first. Not your strategy, not your habits, not even your environment, but your assumption of self, your state of being, the invisible architecture of your life. There is a deeper identity you carry everywhere you go. It is not your name, your profession, or your role in society. It is the silent, often unnoticed sense of who you believe you are. This inner identity is the architect of your experience. And the world does not ignore you, it reflects you. Reality is not something that happens to you randomly. It is something that responds to the frequency of your assumed state. The external world is not a judge, it is a mirror. When your inner state remains unchanged, your outer life can only reorganize itself around the same pattern. New scenes, same story. The man who kept starting over. Imagine a man who is talented at beginnings. Every few years he reinvents his life. A new job, a new city, a new relationship, a new identity. At first everything feels alive. He is inspired. He believes this time will be different. And for a while, it is. But then something subtle happens. The excitement fades. Resistance appears. Old patterns return quietly, like gravity reclaiming what it never truly lost. Years later, he finds himself in a familiar place, not physically, but existentially. The scenery has changed, yet the inner landscape remains identical. When he finally reflects deeply, he realizes something unsettling. He changed everything except the one thing that was actually running the system himself. Not the surface self that adapts and performs, but the deeper assumption. What he believes he deserves. What he believes life is. What he believes he is. He had been changing the stage without changing the actor. But life is not directed by the stage, it is directed by the actor. The thermostat of consciousness. Think of your assumptions as a thermostat. You can temporarily change the temperature, new habits, new motivation, new discipline. But unless the thermostat itself is reset, the system always returns to its default setting. This is why so many people cycle through effort, burnout, change, and return. They keep adjusting the external air, but never touch the internal setting. Eventually, everything reverts. Not because effort is meaningless, but because effort alone cannot override identity. The woman who waited for life to begin. Now consider a woman who lived in waiting. She believed confidence would come after weight loss. Safety would come after money. Worth would come after love. Her entire life was structured on a reversed logic. That inner state must be earned through outer conditions. But this created an endless delay. Because life kept responding to her dominant assumption, "I'm not yet that person." Then she was asked a simple question. What if confidence is not the result but the starting point? Something shifted. She stopped postponing her being. She began to embody confidence not as an achievement but as a present assumption. She stopped waiting for life to authorize her state and instead chose it internally. And over time, reality reorganized itself not through force but through alignment. Not because she chased life harder, but because she stopped negotiating with her own worthiness. The great misunderstanding. Most people misunderstand inner change. They think it is positive thinking, forced affirmations, or emotional masking. But true inner transformation is quieter. It is not about pretending. It is about no longer identifying with the old narrative of limitation. It is the subtle but radical shift from, I am trying to become that person, to, I am that person who is becoming visible. This is not imagination as escape. It is imagination as assumption, the act of occupying a state until it becomes natural. The psychology of almost there. One of the most common traps is living in the feeling of almost. Almost successful. Almost confident. Almost safe. Almost there. But almost is not possession, it is postponement. And consciousness does not respond to what is coming. It responds to what is assumed as already real. If your inner state is one of anticipation, life continues to give you more anticipation. If your inner state is one of arrival, life begins to mirror arrival. The final shift. At some point, every philosophy collapses into a simple question. Who are you being right now? Not who you want to become in the future. Not who you are trying to convince yourself to be, but the identity you are embodying in this moment. Because nothing external is truly independent, it is shaped continuously by the state from which you observe it. You do not need to rebuild your entire life. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need certainty. You only need one shift. To choose a different assumption of self and remain in it long enough for it to become the ground beneath your experience. And when that shift happens, it does not arrive slowly in principle. It arrives instantly in direction. Because reality always reorganizes itself around what is consistently assumed to be true. Closing thought. If nothing changes, nothing changes. But the deeper truth is its mirror. When one thing truly changes your inner assumption, everything begins to change with it. Not because the world suddenly becomes different, but because you are no longer the same observer within it. And in that realization, the search ends where it began. Not in the outer world, but in the quiet architecture of being itself.